This is a Nintendo Wii. But why do I have this Nintendo Wii out here? Because it is time for another episode of Controller-Palooza Wii Edition. So I have to fix this. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's just my weird LCD. Take that out of there. I have to fix this box of Wiimotes. Restore them back to a usable form. And that's today on Tech Guy Life. All right, so I figured the first thing I'm going to do is test all of these nunchucks because they're going to be easy to test because I have my good working Wiimote set up and ready to go. And I have a nice modded Wii here. And what's the benefit of a modded Wii, you might ask? We can go into the Homebrew channel and use Visual Controller Test. So we can come into Visual Controller Test, and this is a great little Homebrew app that's available, and you can test all of the functions of the Wiimote. So you can see the triangles are showing the gyroscopes. So there's the left-right one on the bottom of the screen there. There's the up-down one in the middle of the screen there. And then you can test all the buttons, every single one, to see if they work. So I already know this Wiimote is perfect, but what we want to test are these nunchucks. So what I should be able to do is just take the nunchuck and plug it in, and it shows up. So now we get the individual, so there's the left-right gyroscope, the up-down gyroscope for the Wii or the nunchuck, buttons, and controller. Looks pretty good. So that one's good. See, this is the easy way of testing this stuff. So one good nunchuck. I'm going to suspect that probably most of these are just fine. Nunchuck number 2. Ooh, there we go. Buttons, joystick, gyros. That's good. Everything is working with these. I'm going to blast through these because you don't need to see like 15 of them. Well, we do have one that has some blue gunk on the connector. So we're going to have to give this one a cleaning. Or a more specific cleaning in order to get that gunk off of there. So it works, but I'm just going to put it aside. So I tested a dozen nunchucks, and they were all fine, except for this one, who's just got some cleaning gunk that we got to take care of. Not a big deal at all. But now we have to test all of the Wiimotes themselves. Ew? All right, so tested all the remotes. So we have this pile here, which will not power on. I think there is 5 of them. We have one over here, which powers on, pairs, but there's no gyroscope. This one, which now powers on and has no pairing. And then these 3 over here, which power on and just need to be fully tested. So let's try those ones first. Okay, left and right gyro, up, down gyro. Buttons all appear to be working. Okay, this one is turning off and on though, so I think the power connectors probably just need a little bit of cleaning. That should be about it, I think. So this one here, another one, just a cleaning. Some schmutz in here in the battery terminals, so we'll have to clean those off. I think that's probably about the only problem. It's just not making good contact, because if I move the batteries, everything's fine. Here is my fiberglass pencil, so I'm just going to give the battery terminal a little polish. Time for a friend of the channel, isopropyl alcohol. Let's give it a bit of a clean. pair it with its very own nunchuck, and, and one full Wii controller set is ready to go. Next up, our dog chewed one, or someone chewed. Could be a baby, who knows? There does appear to be a problem with the power button on here, because if I push it, it just causes everything to go crazy. So I think we'll have to open this one up, take a look inside at the power button. I want to try this one, which is the a lot of work to clean up one. Yeah. You know what this is going to be? This is going to be, I'll take the board out of this one and put it into one of the other ones if I can't get them to work, kind of one. Because cleaning this up is going to be a lot. So we'll put this one aside. To get into the Wiimote, we have 4 Y screws. Why, you ask? Why not? Now, it's the type of screw that Nintendo uses. They're a Y1. There are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, we're checking out our dog-chewed Wiimote. Okay, so the little tabs are right about here on the Wiimote. And they're a pain in the butt to get off. There we go. Okay, when you take this off, all the buttons are going to fall out with it. All right, so this one here, probably not going to be fixable unless I can get some spare parts from some of the other Wiimotes. Now, if you listen to the buttons that are down here, so this is the plus, minus, and the home button. Let's see if you can hear it. They click. But the one of the power button at the top does not. And it's because it's completely flattened. So the little metal dome that is in there that makes the clicking sound has been flattened by whatever was chewing on it and held it down too long and just bent it out flat. So the button's probably always on. And I don't think that there's a way to service these buttons because they're just so small and so just there's no way to get it off. It's not like there's a sticker on top. It doesn't, at least it doesn't look like it. I was wrong. There was a sticker. There was a disc. It's sitting right here. It's pretty flat. Oh, and it won't, and it keeps sticking to everything. Okay, it's back on there. Now, how to keep it on there. All right, here we go. Piece of Captain tape. No, it won't pop back up again. As soon as it pops down once, that's where it stays. So this is done. Holy smokes, that was quite the repair. It had action, it had drama, it had romance. Actually, I forgot to turn the camera on, which is unfortunate because I managed to fix Mr. Chewed here. Now, what I did was I took the battery contacts off of the rusted one. So this is one of the battery contacts off the rusted one, and you can see that it has been eaten right through. So what I did was I took those off, and then I took the battery terminals off of Mr. Chewed's board, then combined the Mr. Chewed bottom with the rusty top to get one okay working controller. So it still has the bite marks in the bottom, but I figured that was better than the rust stains because I tried to clean the rust stains, soaked it in vinegar, nothing. It would not come off. So that was that. But now we have one more repaired controller. Okay, so I have a massive pile of Wiimote parts sitting on my desk here because I started taking apart the 5 no power ones, and it ends up there. It looks like they're all the same problem, and it's battery corrosion. These are varying degrees of grossness. You can see there, it's all battery corrosion. It's even to the point where some of it you just couldn't even see. So like the Wii battery or the Wii battery compartment covers parts of the connector. So yeah, those all need to be soaked in vinegar, which I've taken them all off the boards. And then The next thing I have to do is I have to clean all of them because some of them had varying degrees. Some of them was just, right on the battery terminal. As soon as I took the terminal off, that was it. Some of them have blue, battery gunk all over them. So I'm going to have to try to clean these. Like there's a good example right there. All that corrosion. So I got to try to clean those off. I hope this will show up on video. But what I'm doing to clean them is just white vinegar. I'm just going to put some white vinegar on the board. You can see it bubbles up and goes nuts when it comes in contact with the corrosion. But I'm not leaving it like this. This is definitely not how you leave it. You put the vinegar on here, let it do its thing for a little bit, scrub it off, and then you have to clean the board again with isopropyl alcohol to make sure that you get all of the vinegar off. That is key. Do not leave the vinegar on here because the vinegar is not super corrosive, but it will keep going. It is better just to neutralize it with the isopropyl alcohol after it's done kind of eating away at the blue gunk. Okay, so we are down 2 boards. So those 2 boards that had all the corrosion on the board were just too far gone to fix. This one here, you can see the corrosion did not come off a lot of the contacts. It's in a lot of the vias. And when I was cleaning the board, this piece here blew into pieces and flew off the board, and it also ripped off the pads. So the corrosion had gotten right into the board and took the pads for that, whatever that component is. I believe it's a capacitor. I think it's labeled C19. But whatever that was, which was this, actually the same problem on this board, except, I don't know if you can see it, the chip has a crack in it. Right there. So that has a crack in it. I believe it's a capacitor. But yeah, that has a crack in it. And again, this one here, the corrosion is all through the vias. So like there's still blue there and there. So yeah, these ones I believe are just too far gone. But we have managed to bring back this one here. So this one was the chewed board. We had the bad button. So I took the disc off one of these boards buttons and some new Captain tape on there, and I'm thinking that actually might fix this button and make this board back to functional again. Once all of the components are done soaking in vinegar, all the battery terminals, which are right here, and I think they're almost done. I don't think they're going to get much better than that. Once these are all done and I have them out cleaned and ready to go, we'll be able to solder on some new battery terminals on there and see if it works. Okay, so here's one of our boards. No battery terminals on this one, and they go right here and right here. But first thing we need to do is we need to clear out the solder, the existing solder, so that we can put them back in. So we're going to put some flux on here. There's a lot of solder on that one little spot. And there we go. So that one looks to be pretty empty. Now we move over to this one. Then on our reused terminals, what we'll probably have to do is remove a little bit of solder from down here. You can even see that probably. So the one with the springs on it goes into the negative side, and the negative side is clearly marked on the board. So you can see it says plus there and negative there. So this is where it gets kind of tough. because if you don't have 100% of the solder off the connector and 100% of the solder off the board, it doesn't want to go in properly. So there's two ways you can do that. You can either try removing it again and clearing it off, or you could just kind of heat it up as you put it in. But watching, of course, it will get hot, which will burn your finger. So once you have the terminal through, hopefully we can get a good zoom in on this. We just solder it to the board. Just like that. Now, what I always like to do is it'll probably move, so I just touch the solder again, give it a quick push with my finger before it heats up, and now it's nice and straight. So there we have 3 of our 5 power problem Wiimotes. 2 boards, too far gone. 3 of them, we appear to be working again. So I'm going to just slip some batteries in and just see if the board powers. So here is one. Ready? Yes. So we have power. Next. And this one. Power. And the last one. Power. Okay, so now I can get all 3 of these put back together so that we can test them and see if they are properly working. Okay, when you put these back together with their buttons, keep the buttons this way and put the Wiimote back on top like this. Then you don't have to worry about the buttons flying all over the place. Here we have our 4 fixed remotes. We have I put the bit one back into the same case. In case that button doesn't work, then I'll know which one is actually that one, so that we can maybe again try to fix it later. I know for a fact trying to get this button off of this board is not something that I would be able to do without completely slaughtering the button. So I'm not even going to attempt it. But if it doesn't work and I do someday get some new buttons, I might be able to put those on the board. So I've got batteries in all 3. So you can see each one does fire up, which is good news. So it means we at least fixed the first problem with it. Now we have to find out if there's any other problems with them. Wicked. They all work fine. Okay, so it ends up that the testing software can't test the power button. So there's only one way to test the power button, and that's to see if your Wii turns on with it. So I have paired the Chewed controller with the Wii, and let's start the capture. Okay, there we go. And here we go. I'm going to push the power button. Oh, I hear it. It worked. The power button works on here. Awesome. So we have 4 working controllers. In fact, I could change the chew bar on that to a regular one from one of the crapped out ones. So that way we have another good controller. Or I might just I might keep it on here. I might keep this in order to just keep this one for my testing because, yeah, whatever, it works. Okay, here we go. We got some nunchucks. Let's plug her in, pair them up. All right, so for our last 2, we have this one, which is the one that will not pair. So no matter what I do, so pushing the sync button on the remote and pushing the sync button on the console, nothing happens. It will not pair. I could not find any information on this problem other than, your basic troubleshooting stuff from Nintendo as to why this isn't working. So I don't know where to start for a fix. Maybe you do. If you know what the problem is, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, this one, unfortunately, is just going to go in my spare parts. The last one is this one, where it pairs. All of the buttons tested fine, but the accelerometer didn't work. So, I don't know. let's try replacing the accelerometer. Oh, we have crusties, everyone. Oh, man. We've got blue on there, and yeah. Yep, look, we got some bad battery terminals with some crusties on there. Well, let's take her apart, clean her up. I don't do the hot air stuff very much, so I'm not good at it. So if I butcher this, it's a learning experience. Hey, it came off. Well, I have no idea if that worked. It looked like it did, but who knows? Well, that didn't work. Nothing's working. Same as it was before. Buttons work. No problems there. No accelerometer. Nothing. Oh well. It was fun to try. Anyway, time to gather up the spare parts. So here is where we ended up with our little Wii controller extravaganza. We have a bag of 4 Wii controller parts. So this is 4 controllers we couldn't fix, so we're just going to keep everything for parts. We can scavenge buttons, shells, whatever we need, button contacts, all that stuff. Still viable parts, but 4 we could not recover. I have these 2 off-brand, these Nico ones. They worked. This one has 1 bad LED on it, but I am honestly not going to break it open and try to fix that. But otherwise, they both worked fine. I just tested them off camera. They were fine. So 2 working off-brand controllers. And then we ended up with 6 full pairs of controller and nunchucks. And I still have a few spare nunchucks still in this box. But that's it for this one. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.